Hello everyone, I'm gonna talk in this video about the Mercedes ESP connector. While I had a fault on the ESP system on the dashboard, it was showing that the ESP was not working. I think it was ESP inoperative. Please visit workshops. So after scanning the car with the diagnostic device, it was showing that there were some mixed up signals received by the ESP computer. So I decided to remove the ESP cover and clean it with the contact cleaner, which I guess solved the problem. But while trying to install this connector back, it broke. The locking mechanism broke. So this video will actually help you if you face this issue, if you're gonna replace the locking mechanism on your connector. And what you are seeing here is the actual scrap part that I purchased from eBay. It was for a CLS originally, but the part number of the connector was matching, so I got myself this connector, and I'm gonna show you how to swap the locking mechanism from this connector to your own car. So you're gonna start by removing this outer cover, which will not be that easy. This is only an illustration. It took me a while until I figured it out. You will need some wiggling and cursing until you manage to remove it. After that, you'll be removing these two rods, the one I'm holding now. This one is the part that was broken on my connector. To remove these two rods, you need to pinch this lock with a small screwdriver until it get released. And also this one took a while until I was successful. You have to be patient. If you rush it, you're gonna break the new connector. So you have just take your time when you're doing so. The next step will be swapping these parts to my own car. Okay, so we will be removing the negative lead on the battery, just for safety, so we won't short anything out. This ESP system is a really complicated and sensitive system, so you don't want to end up shorting your computer or something. So this would be the first thing to do. Now I'm gonna try to remove the outer cover on my car. This also took a long time because it's actually harder here on the vehicle than the scrap part. You will find out that everything is dried up and there will be some deformation on the original dimensions on the connectors because of the heat and the environmental aspects. Anyway, so I'm gonna speed up my struggle against the outer connector, but eventually I managed to take it out. As I told you, you have to take your time. You cannot force it. Here you're gonna go step by step. Once you feel something is wrong, just stop. Otherwise, if you break it, it will be a big issue to. Here I'm using the silicone grease just to ease up the process. Just make sure you clean all grease when you finish by using the contact cleaner. Here I'm using the contact cleaner. Before I go any further, so now basically you have to pull these two broken rods out simultaneously to get the connector out. And this also will be tricky because if you break it inside, it's either gonna be stuck closed or you will not be able to fit it back, so you have to take your time as well here. I tried these using these scissors and the long nose, but eventually I found, as you will see, I found out that it's easier to push the rod from the downside, push it with a small Allen key until I get a grip of it. Then I'm gonna be pulling both rods out, and I'm gonna speed up this process as well. Here I'm using this Allen key to push the rod out from the downside so I can get a better grip. And here finally I managed to get it out without any further damage. Here I'm using also the silicone grease on the lock we previously talked about to extract this rod. I'm preferring to use the silicone grease because the WD-40 will have a negative effect on the plastic on the long term, so the silicone grease will be gentler actually using it on the connector. And of course, as I said, you have to clean it later with the contact cleaner. I'm not gonna show the process of removing the two rods because this is the easy part. Just be careful not to break the lock, and do the same as we did in the beginning of the video. Once you remove these two rods, you swap them with the other two rods. Here are the removed rods, the broken ones, after I removed them. I'm just installing them on this scrap part. And the last thing to do now is to attach back the cover on the original connector. And here I'm finally installing back the cover. It has to be aligned with the groove and with the two rods as well. Also take your time while attaching the cover and never force it. It has to be, you have to be patient. After you hear this click, it's finally assembled and ready for installation. Here is the connector now, and here's how it's supposed to work. Finally, we just have to install it back on its groove. I sprayed the whole thing with contact cleaner to remove the residual grease, and I left it to dry out for a while. Here I'm gonna start installing back the connector. You have to be very careful and do it slowly, give it its time. Actually, the previous connector got broken while installing it back, not while removing. So, as I mentioned before, because of the deformation, the deformation caused by the heat and the weather effects, it will not be as it was originally designed. So you will find some force while you are trying to push it back to its place. So do not force it, just keep trying to help the locks with your fingers. Just keep pushing the connector inside until it flushes inside all of it. And basically that's it. Good luck to you all.